republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Folks, would you like to roll call, please?
Mr. Haines,
Here.
Mr. Schroeder,
Here.
Mr. Anseeuw,
Mr. Anseeuw, you called? Down here.
Mr. Pappas,
He's down.
Mr. Gregg,
Here.
Mr. Stone,
Here.
Mr. Rooth,
Here.
Mr. Bell,
Here.
Mr. Howard,
Present.
Mr. McWhorter,
Here. Okay, we got enough meeting. First on the agenda is minutes of the June 3rd, 2014 general meeting. Have a motion to approve the meeting minutes. So moved. Moved and seconded. Any discussion on the board minutes? Seeing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Next on the agenda, we have a special guest named Gary Hurd. He's going to give us a presentation on Mercer County Search and Rescue. Gary?
I'll step up front. Thank you for inviting me. My name's Gary Hurd. I've lived in the county since '77, and I'm the commander or the head of the Mercer County Search and Rescue organization. I think I was out of the room when they elected officers when I came back. That's how I got it. We're an auxiliary arm of the Mercer County Sheriff's Department. We're an all-volunteer organization, and all of our people, all of our members buy their own gear, carry their own equipment. We're self-sustaining, self-efficient as far as what we carry and how we use it. We do a lot of fundraising. We do a lot of accept a lot of donations from organizations, individuals, and businesses. We do write a lot of grants to certain entities and companies. We were formed back in November of 2012 in response to the Mercer County Sheriff's Department putting out an interest notice in the paper. Anybody interested in taking a look at a countywide search and rescue organization? Here's a scheduled meeting. We had 14 people at that meeting at that time. We now have about 40 to 43 people on our roster. We have about 25, almost 30 that are certified and trained by Illinois Search and Rescue Council. When I say trained is we follow the federal and state training guidelines for search and rescue. We have the 25 or 28 members who I say are trained and certified. They've had over 20 hours in ground search and rescue technique. They've had over 6 hours in CPR and first aid. And we've had probably almost 2 hours in services from the Mercer County Sheriff's Department on crime scene evidence, crime scene searches, crime scene confidentiality, crime scene sensitivity, and I'll explain to you later how we get called out and how we are an auxiliary arm. We also have 4 other individuals, one of them myself. We've had 16 hours of search management, and we got that training from the state of Illinois up in the Joliet area on how to set up a scene, anticipate problems, work with the public, work with the media, work with law enforcement, base camp, staging areas, certain crises. So we've had a lot of training, and we continue to do training. I think one of the best parts of your Mercer County Search and Rescue is we do in-services. We create our own in-services. We have a farm outside of Viola that a couple has graciously donated to us as far as the ground, the ravines, the woods. We go in there and we search for playing cards. We'll put 6 playing cards in a 2.5 acre woods, and we have to find them. And and we find them by using our techniques and our strategy. We also have done paper plates in, green paper plates in grass fields. We've searched for small stuffed animals. We've searched for very small scarecrows dressed in different clothing. We create our own scenarios. We have another farm outside of Joy that we're going to be using here shortly, 47 acres, and we're going to be doing some evidence search in there where we are looking for maybe an object or just a shoe or a handkerchief. Maybe it's an area we're just looking for a disturbance. Maybe it's an area that we're looking for a possible missing person or a victim. We have different data, different strategies, and different techniques that we will utilize for whatever the scenario is that the sheriff calls us out for. As far as the sheriff's call-out system goes, we are strictly under the leadership of the Mercer County Sheriff's Department. We have met with their deputies. Mike Miller is our assistant commander. He and I presented to the Mercer County Sheriff's deputies who we are, what we are, and they know how to activate us or bring us into a scenario that they might need us to do. We've had several call-outs. We had one in Swedona. We had one, unfortunately, down in Mannon for the drownings. We've had a couple other call-outs, but we got canceled on our way because they either found the individual or they found the piece of evidence that they were looking for. We have the manpower, we have the training. The rural fire departments don't. The sheriff's department and the local police departments don't. They can't put that many people into the field for that long a time. We will stay all night. We don't care about the weather. We pack everything we need in our vehicles. Whether it's rain, shine, cold, whatever, we're there. We're there. Other entities can't do that. They have other responsibilities. We have a mounted component and we have a ground component. All of our mounted people are trained in ground technique. So it doesn't matter whether you're on 2 legs or 4 legs, we still use the same techniques. Horses will respond to a lot of things out in the woods, in the field. They are more alert than we are. Plus, with the elevation of the rider, they can see and cover a lot more ground. We have certain ground that we can cover quickly and effectively with mounted. We don't use our mounted all the time. We have probably 12 to 14 mounted people, and then we have at least another 14 to 16 ground people. We do have some people who are a little older, and they work at our base camp, and they assist Mike and or I or Mr. Geisey on what we have to do with radios and plotting things out. We have purchased our own equipment. We have 6 to 8 radios right now with a 35, 40-foot tower and our own base radio system. We have our own canopy and supplies. We have our own mapping. We have plat maps, 911 maps. We have exploded 3x3 county plat maps. We have a laptop that we can run off wireless off of the squad car for Google Earth. And we have surrounding counties, all of their county mapping. So no matter where we're at in Mercer County, we've got a very clear picture of what ground we're on and where we're going and what direction we're going to use and how we're going to handle it. We are members of the ISAR Corporation or ISAR group out of state. It's the Illinois Search and Rescue Organization. We are trained by them. We are members of them. And by being a member, if we have an extensive search or if we have a situation that's going to go longer, could be anywhere from 1 day to 2 days to 3 days, we have access to other certified, professionally trained search and rescue. There's one forming in McDonough County, there's one down here in Brown and Schuyler County, we have a couple up north just over the Interstate 80 line in Will County. They would all be available to us. Likewise, we are available for them if we would need. But we are on a call-out basis through the Sheriff's Department. That is the only way we can be activated. I can't just decide that I want to go over here and help somebody. Everything goes through the Sheriff's Department, and the local sheriffs in this area are very much aware of us. Real quickly, when we get on scene, we set up and we follow our training. We use our data. One of the search management tools we learned about was, depending on the age, the type of person, what we're looking for, how they're dressed, the weather, the infirmity, the ground, we have data, we have equipment that we can use in our mapping, how far they'll travel in an hour, how far they'll travel in 2 hours, or whether we need to have a 2.5 mile radius shut down or not. We just simply know a best guess scenario of where these people are going and how fast they'll travel. And we can cover the ground in 4 to 5 acre swaths fairly quick. And when we have covered it, we know it's covered, we can mark it, check it, and move on. That way we're not using somebody who's in there for 15 minutes and they say, yeah, we didn't see anything. It's really different when you're certified and trained because we'll dig deep. We are continuing with our training, like I said. We're growing. We do a lot of fundraising, and we have in-services coming up this summer that we're going to continue to do. I'm very impressed with the support from the Mercer County Sheriff's Department. They have been on board with us every step of the way. Some of their deputies have trained with us. They've been very supportive of us. We meet at the fire department the second Monday of every month. And we have really gotten a great group of people. They're from all corners of the county. That's what is so neat about this, is we have people from all corners. We even have a couple coming out of Bettendorf to be in our squad. They really like it, and they're very, very interested in it, and they just love being a part of us, and it's a close-knit group. But it's a professional group. We have our ethics, we have our training, and when we're called out by the sheriff department, we go into our search mode, and that's what we do. Our job is to search and find. That's kind of it in a nutshell. If there's any questions.
Any questions for Gary? Thanks for coming tonight, Gary, and giving us a presentation.
Well, I wanted to make sure everybody knew who we were. So hopefully we don't get too many calls.
I personally like to thank you for your contribution, your time, your effort, everything that you guys are doing. It's incredible.
They have put in a ton of hours in work, and when we get called out, you know, it's not a pretty day, it's not a pretty night, it's hot, it's cold, it's dark. Honestly, this group doesn't care because that's what we do. We can do what a lot of people can't because of the manpower limitations, and they're all set for it. We're, like I said, we're self-sufficient. We'll pack in everything we need.
Let us know, Gary, when you had your fundraisers.
Yeah.
I wasn't, you were here, but I wasn't aware of what's going on.
Yeah, we do a lot of things out in the communities and some of the festivals and
Let us
stuff.
know.
We're here and I'm available. I always take checks. I never turn anything down.
Gary was my daughter's high school principal. We've
Well,
known each other a long time.
If you see my wife come down the road, just remember Gary taught her to drive.
See, now we're throwing out the age factor. Now we're throwing out the age factor here. That's all right. I'm still in the ditches and ravines. I don't care. We travel in groups, so if they have to haul me out, they'll know where I'm at.
Okay.
Thanks, Gary.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Nice to see you.
Okay, Darren Pietmeyer here. Know anybody else who's gonna give the program on 7084? Guess not. Moving on, to law enforcement, Mr. Haines.
I'd like to propose somebody make a motion to accept the law enforcement committee report.
I'll make that motion.
Second. Moving and second, is there any discussion on the minutes for the June 18th meeting? Seeing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, moving on then to the next, is transportation. I'd like to make a motion to approve the June 18th, 2014 minutes of the highway committee. Can I have a second? discussion on this? Seeing none, all in favor of approving the minutes, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Under transportation, I have a resolution for a joint agreement for rural sign upgrade. I'd like somebody to make a motion for this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor of this resolution, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Animal control, Mr. Rooth.
I'd like to make a motion to approve and, accept the animal control.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
I'd like to say something on this, and I'd like to praise the animal control department for their professional behavior concerning the past case that was settled in court recently. They conduct themselves with the utmost professionalism and represent the county very well, and I'd like to thank the ladies at MLK for here tonight. Yes, Don? I'd just like to do that personally. They put in a lot of good work. Took a lot of criticism, but they made it through. Okay, next, zoning, Dan.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the 6/19 meeting.
So moved.
Move, second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Move to approve the minutes of the 6/26 meeting.
Move, seconded. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Move to rezone Ag 1 to R1 for Norma Brooks.
Move, second.
I'd like to ask a question. On Norma Brooks, where's this at, and what are they going from ag to R1 for? Is it even stated?
Hang on, let me check. They're basically splitting off 5 acres with a house.
Now, is that over in Viola? Is that the Brooks from Viola?
Can't remember. See?
What's the seat? Okay.
I don't know for sure if that's it. It's been a while.
That's all I had. I was just curious to see if it was the Brooks from Viola.
Somebody want to make a second on this motion?
Oh, I will.
Okay, Gary second. Any more discussion on it? Seeing none, all in favor of rezoning ordinance Ag 1 to R1 for Norman Brooks, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Pass.
Motion to rezone Ag 1 to R1 for Early Thorn Estates, Austria Gillett, and Steve Guy.
Please. Second letter.
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's been moved. Do I have a second?
Let me read that.
It's moved and second. Any discussion on this ordinance?
I'm assuming that this is this is rezoning, selling the house and the front, or just the house off their space?
Yeah, there's something else.
That's what it looks like.
Comes up for them later. If they get more detail, we need to sell. You know, we look at the maps and everything else at that time, so.
Any more discussion on this one? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Motion to rezone Ag 1 to R1 for Aaron Struble.
Move. Got a second? Second by Mr. Bell. Any discussion on this? Seeing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, thank you, Mr. Schroeder. Economic development, Mr. Anseeuw.
There was no meet, well, I attended the meeting, and Jimmy Gardner from the University of Illinois Extension Office was at the meeting, however, no one else showed up, so there was, no actual held, so I would appreciate if we had guests, if you guys could show up. A little embarrassing
right before Zoom.
Okay.
What's that?
When they're taking over.
The third Thursday at 6 prior to Zoom.
It's
Okay.
unfortunate. Jenny Gardner, I worked with her on the university, on the extension on that committee. She really works hard for the local family, so she does a good job.
Okay, duly noted.
Right before Zoom.
You wanna make a motion to accept?
Yeah,
Motion presented, all you move. Second. Any more discussion? Seeing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Under finance, I'd like to make a motion to approve the July 1st Finance Committee meeting minutes as presented to us. Okay, it's been moved. Seconded, any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of approving the Finance Committee minutes, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion to pay the claims.
Move.
Been moved. Seconded, any discussion? All in favor of paying the claims, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. On resolutions, I'd like to make a resolution to approve the holiday of July 4th for the county employees. Do I have a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded, any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Labor Day too.
Well, we can do that next week.
We got to.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we do that month, yes. Next thing, we have the jail budget that's proposed in finance committee committee meeting. Do I have a motion to approve this budget as policy?
Got the new one out.
Yeah, make sure we're looking at the new one that Phyllis gave us.
The new one doesn't have the bunch of.
So moved.
It's been moved, Zach second.
Second.
Moved and seconded, any discussion on this further? Seeing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
No,
Appears to have passed. This is just a recommendation policy for the board to follow in the future, so. Appointments. Number 13, Farmland Assessment Committee. I'd like to appoint Jeff Kerwin to this Farmland Assessment Committee. I so move.
Second.
Moving to second, any discussion on this? All in favor of this appointment of Jeff Kerwin to the Farmland Assessment Committee that presently consists of Mr. Bell, Mr. Rooth, and myself, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. In your packet, I was presented and notified by Mr. Ron Knoll that he is intending on resigning for the Mercer County Coroner office, and I guess we'll proceed as statutes. Inform this to by notifying the committeemen, Central Committee chairman of the Republican and Democrat parties both, so then the Democrat committee can send forth a name to replace Mr. Knoll.
when's his term up? Because there's different rules. I didn't know.
His term is up in December 16th.
And his last day is gonna be August 31st.
Yeah, it's your 29th birthday. There might be an interest in put that position in ballot. If there's X amount of months left until the next election.
Well, we're just accepting his resignation, so that's something that
Resignation.
Phyllis
Okay,
can
now,
check later
yeah.
on, right?
So we'll research that, the proper protocol.
Yeah, it's either appointment or election, depending on
just don't make that part of that. Just-
Okay.
Just
Just-
make a motion to accept his
I'll make a motion to accept Ron's resignation.
So moved.
Seconded. All in favor, any more discussion?
Ron's been a class act, he's,
Yeah.
couple of situations that he's,
And what's the effective?
with that.
He's retired in August 31st.
August 31st.
August 31st of 2014. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Same sign, opposed. Okay, we'll proceed with that, the statutes. The mowing contract for McWhorter Cemetery, should we, table or refer this to the, property committee?
When you meet with the Ewings on this, and you'll have, or is that a different cemetery?
No, it's,
Township is gonna take over.
Well,
they don't want anything to do with
yeah,
it.
Mr. Howard had a meeting with them and they,
They said they wouldn't take it, you know, if we paid them $10,000. They don't wanna take on anything.
I hope so, I thought sure they would.
Oh, yeah.
We had hopes.
Uh-huh.
But after the research I've done, I think we're obligated to maintain the cemetery. And I have been in contact with the person who's maintaining it now since the prior person decided they didn't wanna do it. She said she'd be willing to maintain the cemetery at the same rate. Should we offer her a contract at the set rate, or should we?
What did she propose?
Huh?
Is that what she proposed?
Yeah, I told her what the present terms were, and she said she would do it for that.
I don't have any issue with paying that person in the cemetery. I'll tell you what I am concerned with is it's still an active cemetery. I mean, I don't know how we're gonna control that.
George, I can't hear you, I'm sorry, I can't.
It's still an active cemetery, and I'm concerned about how we're gonna control that. I'm sure that the last people that were put there didn't pay for a plot. Not that that bothers me all that much, but my point is, you know, a cemetery, an open cemetery is supposed to be self-sustaining, according to the state statute, but we don't have that situation here, so I'm concerned about that.
But we as a county though, if we've got veterans in there or something like that, I think that pretty much supersedes everything else as far as.
Well, there's no
responsibility goes.
superseding, it's a state statute, so you gotta, I think everybody sees where I'm coming from. on this.
Sure.
I don't have an issue with
Right.
spending the money.
Maintain it.
Yeah, we gotta maintain it, it's the right thing to do.
But
I
who's
got
in
you.
charge of collecting?
There
or
you go.
Giving burials
You
now?
know, technically by the state statute, if we own it and it's an operating cemetery, we're supposed to have a committee that takes money for that and, you know, I mean, the statute's a 20 or 30 page statute, it's kind of intense. Who's gonna do that? Anybody here wanna do that? I don't.
Well, I probably would fall under the responsibility of the property committee.
My only argument, and you've heard it several times, is it's not really fair to
My own.
other townships. We're not only paying, you know, in my district, we have 7 different cemeteries that we're taxed for. Now, I guess we have 8 that we're taxed for. I mean, that's my bitch, or that's
Well-
my complaint.
But we look back and we're the only ones on there.
I understand that.
And I don't know what the other cemeteries, who they're deeded to, Larry, that's what,
No.
Yeah, most of them belong to the.
It's a correct thing, it's a
Yeah.
correct thing to take care of it, I'm not
Yeah.
arguing that.
I know.
But I'm a little disappointed that the township doesn't feel like they should have somewhat responsible.
And you're saying it's an active cemetery,
It's an active cemetery.
therefore people are getting paid to bury people. in the cemetery.
Yeah, but right now, well, technically that's the way it's supposed to be, but it was turned over to us, to the county, you know, doing the research. We can't find, you know, if you look at the state statute, when they turn it over to you, they're supposed to not only deed the property to you, but hand over the accounts and everything that goes with it. That was never done, it was just like, here's a cemetery.
There ought to be some records of the plots and
There is.